I'm Danny Epperson at the charming Commodore Dinner Theater in downtown Portsmouth. Thanks for joining me for WHRO Cinema 15, our feature presentation, 1952's musical masterpiece, Singing in the Rain. Movie musicals just simply don't get any better than this. Gene Kelly, Debbie Reynolds, and Donald O'Connor in Singing in the Rain. The American Film Institute agrees. They rank it as the greatest movie musical of all time and the 5th greatest film ever made. It even has a perfect 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Everybody knows what happens when Gene Kelly gets caught in the rain, but you might not know that the greatest movie musical of all time was created by a man who didn't even sing, act, dance, direct, or compose. Arthur Freed was a songwriter for vaudeville and movie musicals in the 1920s and 30s. In 1938, he started a second career as a Hollywood producer. Freed had an eye for talent, and he knew how to assemble a winning production team. Between 1940 and 1951, he created the longest string of movie musical blockbusters in history, including classics like Meet Me in St. Louis, Annie Get Your Gun, and Showboat. In 1951, he had an idea for a movie that would break the mold. Instead of adapting a hit Broadway play or writing music to fit a story, he started with the songs. Freed took a collection of his old vaudeville songs to director Stanley Donen and writers Betty Comden and Adolph Green. He asked them to turn them into a film, and what they came up with was Singing in the Rain, a movie about Hollywood in the late 1920s and 3 former silent film stars who are caught up in the transition to talkies. It's a musical that manages to pay homage to movie history while simultaneously poking fun at the film business. It's silly, charming, visually stunning, and culturally important. It also includes Kelly's unstoppable, awe-inspiring athletic talent. I'll be back after the movie to talk about what happened behind the scenes, but for now, hit the lights, grab your umbrellas, and enjoy Singing in the Rain. Here's a friendly word of warning. After watching this movie, it's gonna be almost impossible to say good morning without singing that song.
Good morning, good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning to you.
Filming for the Good Morning sequence lasted from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. and left Debbie Reynolds exhausted. The final shot of the trio tumbling over one couch and flopping onto another took 40 takes. When the scene was finished, Debbie Reynolds had to be carried to her dressing room because bleeding feet make it pretty tough to walk. The actress was famously known for saying that making Singing in the Rain and childbirth were the 2 hardest things she ever had to do in life. Donald O'Connor's performance of Make 'Em Laugh looked effortless, but it was anything but. The 4-minute sequence had O'Connor rolling on the floor, falling over a sofa, and running up a wall before completing a somersault. The routine was so physically demanding that it put him in the hospital for a week. When it came to the performances of his co-stars, Gene Kelly demanded perfection. He was just as tough on himself. Part of it might have been that he was pulling triple duty as the co-director, choreographer, and star of the film. But it was also because he loved hard work and not even an illness would slow him down. When it came to film his iconic solo performance of the title song, Kelly was sick and fighting a high fever. He insisted on pushing through, hitting his marks, and making movie history in a soaking wet woolen suit. Today, it's easy to forget how much work went into making Singing in the Rain, but for every perfect step, twist, or kick on screen, there were countless stumbles, slips, and falls that we didn't see. But it must have been satisfying for the cast to know that all of their hard work continues to surprise and delight audiences to this day. I'm Danny Epperson, and I'll see you next week for WHRO Cinema 15 and another classic movie.